Hi. So I thought I could do a book haul? Books I read? One of those. Both of those. Both of those. Because I recently just quit. Ooh, I'm sorry, Red. I recently just quit a job. Nothing really bad happened, just mostly family stuff. And so I was asked to come back home, and now I'm home. And I went through a phase of mourning, and I bought a bunch of books, as you do. So yeah, I'm going to show you those books and whether or not I read them, and then if I haven't read them, I'm going to try to read them during this month of November, and maybe I'll even finish it before my birthday. So here we go. So the first book that I got at a hospice bookstore, and it is Kenny and the Dragon. It's by the same author who did the Spiderwick Chronicles, and I loved that book series when I was younger. And I got really excited when I saw this because I didn't think that author was still writing. And it's supposed to be really good, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm also really excited about the fact that it was $2. That's a really big deal for me, considering the rest of this is, not that price. So the next book that I got off of Amazon, and I actually saw it on Instagram first, and I got really excited about it. It is The Art of Kuri. And it is basically like Hygge, but it's with Scottish happiness. And I really hope that I can go to Scotland someday, and I actually kind of want to study there, and I want to hopefully study how their fairy tales and their folklore actually affected their society and their culture, even after the Anglo-Saxon and Christian occupation. You know, to see how much it's changed, and I'm rambling. This next one I got because I saw the movie on Netflix, and I loved it so much. It is the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society. It's one of the best books I've read, and I read a lot of books, and I actually say that about a lot of books, but this one so far has been my favorite. It is about an author whose a book that she donated, not her book, but a different one. She donated a book, and it got to an island in the UK that was being occupied by the German Nazis during World War II. And it talks about how that book kind of helped start this really cool butterfly effect for some people on that island, and really just shows how much books and reading can really do amazing things for people, no matter what they're doing or what time it is. This next one is also I got because I saw the movie on Netflix. I originally really was against this series when it came out and when everyone was really hyped up about it. And then I watched the movie, and oh my god. You probably know what this is. This is probably gonna date me. Come back and haunt me too. It's To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and it's so good. I don't know why I hated it. I hated that entire series without even reading it, and I regret it so much. It is so sweet. It is so real. Everyone in this book is so real, and I just, oh man, it makes me feel so much better about being a dreamer and wanting to fall in love, but not actually wanting to take that plunge, and kind of be scared of taking that plunge. So, I love it. These next two I got, and I originally was just planning on getting this one, and I read that it was a sequel, and so then I grabbed the prequel, and I didn't even know it, but I think this is going to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling of East of the Sun and West of the Moon, and that's one of my favorite Beauty and the Beast retellings, or maybe original, I forget the exact history of that, but these were from the children's section. And I am so hyped for this. Oh wait, there's one more. Hi, baby. There's one more. Wait, I need to grab it. Okay, I lied. There's actually two more. My dad and I both read books together, and when we find a book series that we really like, it's not a very big deal, but it's still a big deal because we like to bond over it and we like to share the series. We love Sarah J. Maas, we love Tolkien, and speaking of Sarah J. Maas, holy shit! But more about her later. So, Tamara Pierce, I got this book. I've been meaning to get it for a while. I've seen it on Bookstagram for ages, and it's just been so pretty, but I haven't been willing to read it. The last series that I read from her was the Terrier series, and I read that in 5th grade, and I loved the series, but I just, never got to pick her back up. And my dad's reading this right now, and I'm gonna read it after him, and I was told that it was a very good come down from this. I finished this 2 days after I got it. It's 1,000 pages, but oh my gosh, it was so good, and it was so heartbreaking and so wonderful, and I love that Sarah J. Maas is just such an amazing writer, and oh my god, it's so good! Anyway, that was very good. So the next one I got was The Language of Spells. This was also from the children's section, and I'm really excited about it because it has a dragon on it, and the back it says, "Magic is funny in that way. It chooses those who might not choose themselves. In fact, one of the many rules governing the world of magic is that if you pay attention, you will understand how magic has chosen you." I love children's books, man. They're so much more full of magic and lore, and they can be a lot more intense sometimes than young adult books, or adult books even. And it's just so nice to read them and feel like you're part of a world rather than just being explained a plot, which happens to a lot of adult books. Anyway, speaking of adult books, this next book I got purely because of the title. I saw that it was free on the Kindle, but I wanted the physical copy. And it is The Law of Tall Girls. As a tall girl, I am 5'9". I'm not that tall, but I'm taller than most. And it's been interesting, both combating my own personal insecurities and then dating other people who have their own insecurities about what they look like or how they act. And I haven't read it yet. I've read only the first couple of chapters, but it's so sweet. So far, it's very sweet. Not the greatest thing written ever, but it's very real. It reads like how I held a conversation in high school, and that's kind of what's making me stay attached to it. Anyway, I got this book purely because of the cover. I really want it to be Christmas right now, even though Halloween was like day before yesterday. And I saw this, and I was immediately fascinated by it. Winterglass, I saw the castle, and I saw the shields and the little fox hopping, and I was just kind of like, oh sweet, it's a fairy tale. It's mine. And I didn't realize it until after I came home that it was a sequel. And so I'm going to have to find the first book before I dive into this one. But based on what I've read from the prompt, this is like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty are half sisters, and they're trying to save their kingdom. And I'm so excited. This last one, second to last one actually, is called Shadow of the Fox, and I saw this on Bookstagram, saw that it had Japanese folklore in it, and immediately got it. Like, it didn't, like, click mine at my door that afternoon. I love Amazon. As someone who worked at a Barnes & Noble, I love Amazon. Anyway, this is so good. It's like Avatar and the Last Airbender mixed up with, what's that anime called? It's the really old anime. Basically, there are these three kids, and one of them is a descendant of a fox god, and it's, oh my god, it reads like my dream Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I am trying to work on if I can actually get people to come. I'm getting distracted. This is very, very good. Very good. As you can tell, I'm a very big fan of Western fairy tales, and I don't have a lot of Eastern or just general non-European folklore. I don't even have a lot of American folklore. I think I have like 2 somewhere on my shelf, and Rick Riordan does not count as American folklore. Why would he? Anyway, so this yokai demigod has to go on this amazing quest to keep what's left of her temple safe and what's left of her country, I guess, safe. I couldn't really understand if it was just the country or the world. Probably should reread it. I finished it way too quickly. But oh man, it's so good. It's so good. I loved that book. I want to recommend it to everyone and anyone that I can, really. But yeah, like, I have a bunch of friends that are really into Oriental mythology, just anything that's not necessarily Western or American. And one of them doesn't read, really, so I'm going to see how I can get them to read this, but I would highly, highly, highly recommend this one. And the last one is this baby right here. This is the Tale of Earthsea. The complete Tales of Earthsea, rather. And, okay, so I watched the Hayao Miyazaki version of Earthsea, and that was great. So then I got the book, and then I found out that the book is like 7 in a series of a lot more. So I haven't read it yet. But when I saw this big baby here, I got very excited. And I cannot wait to start it. So I mean, it's great, and I'm really excited to read it. I'm also trying to get a feel of different fairy tales for that Dungeons and Dragons game I was talking about. I'm going to be one of those people and try to do a campaign for my birthday, but most people aren't even going to be in the state or some even in the country when it's my birthday, because it's right after Thanksgiving. So they're all gonna be back at school or with family. But if I can, I'm really, really going to try and do that. And so anyway, so that is my book haul slash read haul. Thank you for watching, I guess, and for letting me be a shopaholic when I am sad about being unemployed.